Samsung says the Galaxy Z Flip 6 is geared towards content creators more than the Z Fold 6, and I think Samsung is wrong. Hey, what's going on, people? Hope y'all are good. In this video, I'm gonna show you several tips and tricks to create content with only the Z Fold 6. We'll be covering everything from creating an outline or script to filming and creating thumbnails. But first, let me show you an example of a video I created only using the Galaxy Z Fold 6. It's for a new smartphone gimbal from this video's sponsor, Hohem. Check it out right here. The Hohem iSteady V3 is an impressive smartphone gimbal that I'm excited to tell you all about later in the video. For now, let's talk about how you can use the Z Fold 6 and Galaxy AI for research and scripting, or all the prep work that you need before creating a video. I used Samsung's browser in order to do all of my research because Galaxy AI is built into Samsung's own browser. From there, I would summarize all the websites that I could find on that specific gimbal, and then I would take that information and paste it into Samsung Notes, and after I have a ton of information, I would use Galaxy AI inside of Samsung Notes to consolidate all of that information into a more easier to read or shorter summary. Then I would pull up Samsung's keyboard and I would use the Galaxy AI features built into it. So I can highlight all of that text and tell the keyboard to rewrite it for me in a specific format, whether I want friendly, professional. There's a few options to choose from. I wish you could get more specific with how you wanted it to sound by typing in your own prompt, but nonetheless, this is still great and it made the process a little bit easier. If I saw something along the way that I didn't recognize, I would use Google Gemini's circle to search built into the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and find out what that item was, or if I could find out a little bit more information about that specific post. Once all of that is done, I can go ahead and drop my A-roll or my voiceover. In the case of the Hohem video, it was just a simple voiceover. But here's how I did it. I recorded the audio into my computer, of course, as most people would do, but I also had Samsung's voice recorder app running at the same time. This way, it would also record my voiceover, and then it could give me summaries, bullet points, and meeting note style documentation, and then I can use all of that information to build up social media captions or even a YouTube description. The last step in pre-production is coming up with a storyboard to make capturing all of your B-roll a little bit easier. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I suck at storyboarding, but Galaxy AI did make it a little bit easier with Samsung's Sketch to Image. The great thing about Sketch to Image is you can come up with a storyboard no matter how crappy of a drawer you are. I mean, take a look at this image that I drew. It is terrible, but Samsung was still able to come up with this from it, which is a great storyboard sketch. Now I can take that and put it into Samsung Notes, add a little caption on the bottom to basically give me an idea of what I'm looking at, and now I have my first little clip for B-roll. Now I have to be honest, I didn't use a storyboard for the Hohem video just because it was such a short sequence. However, on a longer form video, I will definitely be trying this, but I wanted to put this in the video just in case you are a storyboard type of person or a visual person. That way you can get the most out of this phone. Now with all of the pre-production done, even the A-roll finished, we can go ahead and dive into the B-roll. So let's look at the cameras now on the Z Fold 6. Now, before you run out and start shooting footage on your Z Fold 6, there's one thing that I recommend that you do, and that's download the Camera Assistant app from the Galaxy Store. Once you download it, you can access it one of two ways. You can go directly into the settings in the camera app, or you can locate the app that just says Camera Assistant. Whichever way you choose to do is on you, but once you're inside of those settings, there's three things that I want you to look for. There's a ton of settings inside of Camera Assistant, but we're gonna ignore all of them for now and only focus on three. The first is picture softening. This affects how much sharpening is applied to the image. I'm gonna put mine on medium because I find that to be a good balance, but if you like all that sharpening, just leave it off. Next, we're gonna scroll all the way down and make sure audio monitoring is turned on. This allows you to monitor your audio as you're recording video, whether it's through a Bluetooth headset or cabled headphones. After that is turned on, the last thing we need to do is make sure clean preview on HDMI displays is turned on. If you'd like to hook hook the Galaxy Z Fold 6 up to like an external camera monitor to get a better perspective on what you're filming, you could definitely do that. As long as you toggle this on, you're gonna get a clean feed with nothing on the screen whatsoever, giving you an ideal clean plate of whatever it is you're recording. One of the cool features on Samsung cameras is auto framing. Basically, it crops in on the image and it will follow you around and keep you center. It's kind of like center frame on a Mac, but Samsung updated this on the Z Fold 6 and now it supports 4K. So you're gonna get an even cleaner image when you're using auto framing. And when you combine this with something like flex mode, which is a more or less a built-in tripod, you can record yourself very easily. Even though auto framing is really cool, I mean, it's super convenient because it's built right into your phone and it allows you to walk around and film yourself. You are gonna get some image degradation simply because you're cropping in on the image. So you're gonna get some quality loss. If you wanna keep that quality up while also being able to track yourself, then you might wanna check out a Hohem gimbal like the iSteady V3. First off, let's talk about the standout feature that makes solo content creation possible, the magnetic AI tracking module. This detachable AI tracker allows the iSteady V3 to automatically follow your movements, making it perfect for solo vlogging and dynamic shots. All you have to do is make an OK gesture to start tracking and then a palm gesture to stop. It's that simple and incredibly accurate. You can also switch to portrait mode with the thumbs up gesture or to landscape with the thumbs left or right. To customize the AI vision position, use a two-handed L gesture until you see a flashing green light and then move to your preferred tracking spot and repeat that gesture. The AI tracking module comes with an indicator light, green for active and red for inactive, making it easier to know your status at a glance. It also doubles as a fill light with adjustments from 4% to 100% along with adjustable CCT values. To go along with the AI tracking features and hand gesture, the iSteady V3 features a detachable remote control. You can use it independently or attach it to the gimbal's handle, offering you the ultimate flexibility. And check this out. We have a built-in 8-inch extendable rod with a tilting head. It's perfect for getting different perspectives and group shots or just extended selfies. Plus, since the tripod is built into the bottom, it keeps everything nice, compact, and lightweight, making it a great travel companion. With long battery life lasting up to 13 hours, you don't need to worry about running out of juice during your shoots. And speaking of running, the iSteady V3 is powered by the iSteady 8.0 anti-shake system. You get super smooth footage even if you're on the move or in challenging environments. The motors are also really strong. I've been using the Galaxy S24 Ultra with a case on it and an iPhone 15 Pro Max with a case and DJI mic attached. And speaking of that, the iSteady V3 is compatible with various wireless mics due to its open side design. While the Hohem app isn't a must, since most of the controls can be toggled from the gimbal itself or through gestures, it is essential for unlocking the full potential of the iSteady V3, offering things like calibration adjustments, firmware updates, object tracking of non-human subjects, various modes, customization options, and creative tools. If you're interested in learning more, or you want to pick up an iSteady V3 for yourself starting at just $129, make sure to use the links in the description or the pinned comment. If Hohem happens to send over any discount codes, I'll be sure to include them there as well. Now, let's get back to making content on the Z Fold 6. The camera app that I recommend is the Blackmagic camera app if this phone was supported. The good thing is Samsung has a great pro video mode built right into their camera app. To access it, all you have to do is go all the way over until you view all of the modes and then select pro video. Once you're inside of this mode, you have a ton of manual controls. You can adjust your shutter speed, your ISO, your focus, but most importantly, your audio. So you can select how the onboard microphones are going to work. So whether you want to use the front mic only, the rear mic only, or both of them for omnidirectional, you can also choose other mics like a cabled mic or a Bluetooth mic, and you can adjust those levels to make sure that nothing gets clipped. Another cool feature that is specific to the foldable form factor or the flip is cover screen preview. This allows you to use the outside screen to frame yourself while you're taking advantage of the most powerful camera on the entire phone, the main rear camera, and get excellent looking video. And you can record 8K video using cover screen preview, which is nice if you want to do that type of thing. One feature that I find highly underrated on Samsung cameras is the fact that you can make your own LUT or filter and no one talks about it, but yet it is very powerful. So you can upload your own image. So if there's a specific film simulation or camera look that you're going for, just find an image that was shot on that specific simulation or camera and then upload it. And then Samsung will extract that color information and basically build you your own look. And you can apply that to your videos or your photos. and it works pretty good. Another feature that no one is talking about on the Z Fold 6 is the fact that you can record 4K video from 2 cameras at the same time in dual mode. So inside of dual mode, all you have to do is just change the resolution from 1080p to 4K, then select the cameras that you want to use. So you can use the front-facing camera along with the main rear camera, or you can use the main rear camera and the ultra-wide to capture 2 different perspectives. You can have it save as a picture-in-picture or a split view, or you can have it record in 2 separate files, so nothing is stitched together, and you can do that yourself in post. So last but not least, you can basically slow down any video clip that is in your gallery simply by touching and holding on it while you're inside of your gallery. From here, just hold down for as long as you want that slow motion clip to last, and then once you release your finger, it will save that section as a new video clip. So all of the video editing that I did for the Hohem video, I did on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. So here's a few apps that you could use. The first app that you could use is the built-in Samsung video editor. It is pretty weak. Like, you can't do a whole lot inside of it. But if you're trying to make a montage of video clips from a vacation, add a few transitions and maybe some background music, you could do all that inside the stock editor. And I gotta say, out of all the phones that I've tested, this is one of the few that includes some type of video editor built into their OS, which is great. If you're looking for a more advanced video editor but don't want to pay anything, there are a couple good free options. The first is Adobe Rush. I actually use Adobe Rush all the time on my iPhone and iPad to cut up short form or social media videos, just because it gives you all the controls that you need without being overly complex. And CapCut's another one. CapCut is a little bit more complex, but there are a ton of effects on there. A lot of them use AI, so they're easy to apply. But the problem with CapCut is you don't get all the fine-tuned controls that you get from an advanced video editor, but you do get all the effects, transitions, keyframes, and all that good stuff. For advanced fine-tune control, I recommend LumaFusion. That's how I edited the Hohem video on the Z Fold 6. Like I said, it was painful. I had to split clips in half in order to do the speed ramping. Then I had to group them and then export them one by one in order to bring them back in to get smooth playback. It was a very big headache, but nonetheless, if you want that advanced control and you want to make more professional style videos, maybe for YouTube or long form videos for TikTok, this is the route that I would go. Plus, I was able to use DeX with LumaFusion and edit on a much larger monitor in a more desktop-like environment using a mouse. Granted, it was wireless DeX because I couldn't get the cabled version to work, but the lag was not bad at all, and I was able to do some fine tuning. But I did most of all that on the phone directly using just the pen. And like I said, it was painful. So creating thumbnails on the Z Fold 6 is really easy. The first thing I recommend is using the best app to capture that thumbnail. And for that, I recommend Expert RAW, and then go into the settings in Expert RAW and make sure Lossless RAW is toggled on. Now, quick disclaimer, this is going to give you very large files. So if you take an Expert RAW image using Lossless RAW and it's a 50 megapixel shot, that's going to be a massive file. So I suggest offloading those images as quickly as possible. You can even go into the settings and toggle on the wireless transfer setting. So that way, as soon as you take the shot, it will instantly be sent over to your Samsung laptop or compatible desktop. But the best reason to enable Lossless RAW is just to get all of the flexibility of a raw image and all of that data in a photo. That way you can manipulate it how you see fit when creating your thumbnail. But that's not the only reason why I recommend Expert RAW as a whole. You also get more advanced features. So you get all the manual settings like shutter control, ISO, white balance, focus, just like you do in the regular Pro mode. But you also get an ND filter that I'm pretty sure uses the shutter speed, but it is a cool effect. You also have a ton of astrophotography settings in here and a lot of other stuff. So Expert RAW is definitely the way to go for the highest quality image possible using the Z Fold 6. And of course, having that foldable form factor is a big advantage when it comes to taking pictures as well, because you can put it in flex mode to act as a tripod, or you can use cover screen preview if you want to take a good selfie. Now, once you have all of your images, you can start manipulating them and moving one object from one image and putting it into another. And you can do this using either the old-fashioned approach by lassoing things and moving them around and creating stickers, or you could take advantage of Galaxy AI and sketch to image. So if you go into your photo editor, you could pull up Galaxy AI and then start removing objects from your photo just by tapping on them or drawing a circle around them. And then selecting that you want to delete that portion of the image and then have Galaxy AI fill that area in. And then once you're done, you can save a copy, bring it back in, and then use Sketch to Image to start adding things to your image, especially if you're a good drawer. So once you add the object that you want to add, you could save a copy and then keep doing that over and over and over until you've added as many objects as you want. Then save your final copy and bring that into your photo editor to fine tune it. Now there's tons of different photo editors out there. You can download Photoshop and Lightroom if you're an Adobe subscriber. You could use the Google Photos app, or you can use something like Snapseed or several other free editors out there. But if you don't want to download a third-party app or pay for anything, you can easily just use the stock Samsung editor to manipulate the photos and blend everything together to make it look cohesive. Once you're happy, you could save it. And if you want to add text, you could just use Canva for free. Add your text, there's your thumbnail. Or if you don't want to add text, you could use that for an Instagram story or maybe an in-feed post to promote your video. But that pretty much wraps up the thumbnail process using the Galaxy Z Fold 6. I mean, there's a lot more that I could get into detail with when it comes to creating content on this phone, especially with the camera and the built-in editor and all that stuff. So if you want to see follow-up videos, just let me know. But I just wanted to make this video to address what Samsung said to me about how this phone is not meant for creators when, in fact, I think it's the perfect phone for creators. It gives you everything that you need, especially with that large form factor to edit everything and to do all your research on. So let me know what you think of this video. Do you agree with me or do you agree with Samsung? Is this phone more meant for business type people, people that need the ultimate phone for productivity, or is this a creator's paradise? Let me know in the comments. And other than that, I'll see you beautiful people in the next one.